Hi there, just a quick workshop to help us get our heads around the responsibilities for the COVID compliance officer in our clubs. So this is all based on the yellow book for clubs. We have three of them, one for athletes, one for coaches, and one for clubs, which is the largest one. So I thought I'd take us through the fundamentals that are based within that document. So looking at our clubs, the focus is on the role of the COVID compliance officer, a new role, so there will be questions and queries with regards to how that's going to work within each club. And it's important to realise here too that it's a responsibility of everybody within the club to maintain good practices as we resume activity. It's not just the role of the compliance officer, they need to be supported by the management committee and their coaches and indeed the athletes in the work that they're going to be doing to maintain good practices around activities within sport within our clubs. So when you look at the book, inside the first page, you'll find the list of each of the steps that are required for this to be a success. First one, which we'll look at in a second, is around the safety officer and how their role is, what their role is to do with maintaining good practices. Then club access, there is none basically because it's outdoor only at the moment. Booking and arrival, what that looks like, and the check-in protocol in terms of how we organise people when they turn up at the club. The club facilities themselves we mentioned, track and field, how that's going to work, how we're going to organise for different activities within the club and on the track, coaching, how that looks, what that looks like, and what happens when we finish our sessions in terms of going home. I'm going to focus on this slide for a little while because this is really the nuts and bolts of the questions that you're going to get with regards to the role of the safety officer within the club. First is to appoint one, and this should be a management committee appointment to monitor compliance within the club. So a club appointment with regards to the safety officer, the COVID compliance safety officer. Bit of a mouthful, but that's the title on the role. Second, club has access, as I mentioned earlier, outdoor only activity from 13 to 69 years. So there is no access except in emergencies, such as if somebody needs a first aid kit or they need a defibrillator. So emergency access only to club facilities. There should be a process in place for contact tracing or facilitating contact tracing by booking time at the track and taking a register of those who turn up and those who attend. Within check-in, 2-meter queue at a single entry point, so when they queue up to fill in the self-assessment form, which we'll show you later on, and they should maintain good practices there around queuing, all coming into one single point within the club. No facilities available, emergency only, and controlled and managed training groups when it comes to using the facilities, outdoor facilities, the track and the field. Social distancing observed at all times in terms of the activities that we do, so run, jump, throwing, maintaining social distance within our group, and also that groups stay apart if there are multiple groups working in one particular area. Coaching takes on the role of advising athletes of protocols and maintaining hygiene practices. Coaches will be actively involved with the group, so it's their responsibility to remind athletes and attendees of what their responsibilities are. And then when the session finishes, no congregating, leave straight away and let the next group come in because you're probably working some form of booking systems to allow different groups access to the facility at any one time. The role of the actual compliance officer is, first of all, to plan the return to activity with the management committee. So they're supported by the management committee and by the club membership and that collective responsibility about making this a success. To review the activity protocols contained in the Yellow Book. So to have a good read of that, think of how it affects their club, what they have to do to comply and to maintain compliance throughout the sessions. Most importantly, I think of the next number 3 here, adhere to HSE public health advice, the 3 core roles that they have. Maintenance of social distancing in terms of 2 meters, good hygiene practices, all athletes or attendees, including coaches, should carry hand sanitizers. And there should be a register of all those who attended should contact tracing be required. Put up some posters around the club, around the area, around the ground, if they can. If they're rented facilities, it can be a bit problematic, but try and put up some information posters around HSE, Covid-19, and our own ones, which are available to download off our website, which I'll show you later on. Make sure we have a good booking system in place to facilitate that registration process. So we're capturing the name, the person, what time they turned up, or what date they turned up, what activity they were involved in, and we have some screening questions which I'll show you later on. Ensure that everybody maintains social distancing and they have information regarding COVID-19 guidelines available to them at the track. And the role then of the compliance officers to monitor this activity as it goes on and to be able to intervene and remind athletes, coaches, parents of what the guidance are and that they stay within their groups that they've been allocated and that their groups are kept away from other groups that work independently. This is a simple diagram, but just to illustrate how we could have, for example, 4 groups of 4 working within one track area. I think Santry have a limit of 16 on the track at any one time, so this would work for them. So the yellow dot being the coach, so on the bottom right hand corner at the start finish area you'll see I've got 1 coach, but there are 2 groups, one in the D which has no coach, which has been given an instruction by the previous coach and that they're working away on whatever tasks have been set. Then over on the far side of the top left hand top corner you can see we have another coach working independently on the bends, and we have another group on the infield D where the high jump would normally be, and they have a coach working in that area as well, and their flow then would dictate where their position is on the track. So a simple way to demonstrate how we could have 4 groups on the track at any one time working independent of each other. These are the documents that I mentioned earlier. We've got a poster here. Mary has done up a couple of posters, I think 3 in total, about welcome back to the club and reminding people of the different measures that they need to have in place and to remind them about social distancing and hygiene practices. On the left hand side you'll see a registration and screening questionnaire. This is what every attendee must complete when they arrive at the track. Be it online or be it in paper, this needs to be completed should social distancing be required. So you see there are some health questions regarding regarding COVID-19 on the form itself, and they need to actually work with regards to attendees and athletes and coaches completing this form each time they turn up the track, because it's recording a session as opposed to recording it at a point in time. There's more information available on the About Us section on the website, on the COVID page. You'll find the posters, you'll find the yellow documents, and you'll find the screening questionnaire for clubs should they need them. And additional information will be posted up there as the phased return to activity moves on to the next stages of stage 2 and stage 3. I hope this was helpful. Give me a buzz if you need anything. Thanks very much.